It's forever been embedded in Japanese car culture to want to become unrecognizable, to push boundaries and set oneself apart amidst a sea of imitators. So, when legendary parts manufacturer 326Power builds a new kit for the 86 chassis, it's totally normal to be at a loss for words, especially when it hits here in North America.
This is officially the car with the worst turning radius I've ever driven. Yeah, we're at a golf course right now. I'm not sure if those golfers were staring in awe, amazement, disgust, or what. But they were staring, and I think that's the entire point of this car. Welcome back, you guys. This is a 2013 Scion FRS that's been fitted with the 326Power Widebody kit. Now, the owner of this car, Sean, has dubbed it the Gundam 86 because he thinks that the intakes and the vents and the angles of the car make it kind of look like a Gundam. Which, I mean, I am not, you guys, just to make it clear, if you weren't already familiar, I am not well versed in the Gundam universe. I know a little bit about Transformers. To me, that's what this looks like. This is kind of like an Optimus Prime style kind of body kit. And the one I'm driving today is the first build, the first completed build in North America, as far as I know. So that's what I'm driving today. This is not something I would normally bring you guys on Roads Untraveled. It is not something I'd normally go out of my way to seek to find. All intents and purposes, this is now a show car. Yes, I'm driving it, and it's driving acceptable. It's absolutely driving and riding worse than a factory FRS, and that is not subjective. It's running Swift springs, some kind of mid-tier coilovers. Sounds really good. Oh, that's a big dip. Honestly, way less rubbing than a lot of cars that don't look nearly as insane as this. It's actually doing way better than I would have expected in terms of ride quality. In terms of just not rubbing, it is definitely bouncy, but the car sounds good. I do love the way it sounds. It's got a custom exhaust built by the guys over at Project 604. But again, this isn't a car that you want to take to autocross, and that's what Sean was saying is originally his plan for this car was to, in fact, take it to autocross and drive the heck out of it. In fact, that's why he has this GoPro mount behind him, so you could see you know, his track footage and how he became or would have become a better driver. But unfortunately, that is not the case here. Now, I'm not knocking you, Sean. Your car's great. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I would never do this to an FRS. But talk about a polarizing car. Talk about a polarizing statement in the car world. It's kind of, now, 326Power, of course, is much different than RWB. RWB is unique, especially in the sense that Nakai-san travels around the world to individually build each and every one of his cars that he does, and that is what makes RWB one of the things that makes that brand, his work as a brand, so special. Now, with 326Power, they manufacture a whole host of things. In fact, they've partnered with Work Wheels too. So they make wheels, they manufacture suspension parts, they manufacture, most importantly, body kits, all in an insane wide array of colors. And it is just, I mean, it's a party over there. It's 326Power is, oh God, oh, the turning radius is terrible. 12-inch wide wheels in the back. They only have 285s though on them, so incredibly stretched. I mean, aside from the front tires pulling me into different sections of the road, not deciding where it wants to place itself, it actually has quite a bit of grip.
And although 326Power, let's say, embraces the extraordinary limits of what's visually acceptable, this has become what the people want. Once upon a time, it was quote-unquote cool enough to just own a Skyline or Sylvia here in the West, but it's clearly not enough anymore as the market becomes flooded with imports. RWB, Rocket Bunny, and Liberty Walk are often instantly recognizable, while 326Power kind of simmers a little bit into a flavor that's permeated through the culture and either accepted or rejected on the other side.
Those sound pretty good, I'll give it credit, you know? Above 60 miles an hour, there's no tire shake, there's no wheel shake. Yeah, we'll see how the turn in here is. Sean has warned me that if I turn in too hard, the front tires are gonna rub on the frame. The frame's gonna scrape, and then the stability control light is gonna flash. And that's a warning. Hey, you're pushing me too hard. I didn't know Gundams had limits. Easy to shift, nice big shifter on here. I mean, I'll give it that. You dip it into a corner, there's no rubbing that I can feel. Not on that corner, at least. I mean, I hate to say it, the turn-in's way better than stock. I really do hate to say it. And it's not like this is a car that is rare, and that's where a lot of to get back to the polarizing nature of Nikai-san and RWBs among the 911 purists, whether you love those or hate those, you're cutting up, in most cases, not rare cars. They're not cutting up like a 964 Turbo for the most part, although I have heard of someone who's going to be doing that fairly soon here in the future. But an FRS is a car that you can't really, like, I'm already thinking about the comments that'll potentially come to this video, and you can't really get annoyed at this car. You can have an opinion on it, of course, but there's no purists for the FRS, is what I'm saying. So it's just a ridiculous slap in the face for the FRS community. It's not like a Rocket Bunny kit where it's wider just by enough where, hey, this could be a practical thing. You could stick on the wider tires that you've been wanting to put on your car to actually achieve more grip, and hey, take it to the autocross, take it to the track, and there you have more mechanical grip. Here, yes, we have more mechanical grip, but can we use it? Can we use it? Not to mention, I mean, this video so far has just been me ragging on this car, and I love it. I love it so much. I love it and I hate it at the same time. There's zero visibility. When I go look at the side view mirror here, I try to look over top of it. Okay, yeah, I can see over top of it if I really want to try. Or I can actually look through it. I can look through the fender and see another view of the road behind me.
Despite the massive risk-taking and spread of parts coming out of 326, you're looking at one of the originals. Tier 1, born drifting in the mountains of Japan with the best. To me, these complete cars have more to prove from a motorsports standpoint for the simple fact they elicit such a reaction upon first impression that questions of legitimate practical use immediately arise. There's more to prove here after the photo shoot is finished.
There's a lot of love for these kind of boutique Japanese body manufacturers, these body kit manufacturers and parts suppliers out of Japan. A lot of these companies were started by one singular person. So if you guys don't know, 326Power was started by Mitsuru-san in Japan, as many of these stories begin drifting in the mountains of Japan, which is fantastic. That's how Nakai-san got his start in an 8.6. Now Mitsuru-san got his start apparently in an FC RX-7, which driving this Gundam 8.6 kind of makes sense. The FC is a car with a lot of sharp edges, and so is this body kit. And hey, maybe that's where a little bit of the influence came from, but it isn't one of those brands that is just a brand that was created here in North America, or that is a knockoff or a later brand, like a second tier or a 2.0, you know, a Japanese tuner company 2.0. This is a 1.0. This is one of the originals, and while not as big as some of the others, it's a huge company. They offer a lot of products. Stay positive. This SUV ahead of me, stay positive, but it's PAW. Oh, and there's another one. They just passed another one. A matching one, and they waved at each other. Wow, that's hilarious. All right, time for another 29,000 point turn. Just a laugh. I don't know, I came out here today. It's a spectacle to look at. It's not something I would want to build for myself. It's not something I would want to take to the track, although a lot less taxing on my body and on the driving experience as I was expecting. So thanks guys for watching. You can hit me up on Instagram at Roads Untraveled if you want to see more of our car reviews coming up. Let me know what you want to see, if there's anything in particular. Hit up Sean on Instagram as well. In the description, his Instagram will be there. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Back on deck on my fly shit. Really on my shit. Pay some respect to my mindset. Head blowing smoke.